Hello, my gorgeous Leo Pride. Here we are, beginning a new calendar year. I know many of us are probably feeling very excited and curious, like, what is this year going to bring? What are going to be the themes? Some of us may feel a little bit more trepidation, like, I don't know. We're all going to have our different emotions around, what a new year means to us. I know a lot of us have been traumatized by the kind of mechanized sense of time and the pressure we feel to open up the year and be like doing it really well. And in that way, I just want us to we're not even doing that. No, thank you. We are going to make this January special unto itself, not because it's the beginning of a new calendar year, because we need to master our year ahead, but because there's a lot of magical, beautiful things going on here. And I think we can really utilize January to feel more in tune with ourselves, more in line with who we are now. Not who we were even 3 or 4 months ago, but who we are with all the growth we've just done, with all the exploration we've just done. And I know a lot of us too probably are feeling a little nervous because I'll say right now, Venus is doing her retrograde in Capricorn nearly the entire month. We have Mercury beginning a retrograde in Aquarius on the 14th, moving into, and then retrograding back into Capricorn on the 25th. So we've got some retrogrades moving through, which means this is a time of integration, understanding how we've grown, incorporating that growth, all of that. Those are all big themes that are going to be coming through during this time. But there are other things going on. And I know that you're going to be asking me, well, what do I do with Venus and Mercury going retrograde? Doesn't that mean I won't be able to talk to anybody? Here's the thing. We're going to have we can have problems anytime in our life if we are not being honest with ourselves or having good communication with others and letting them know when we have a boundary or we have a desire, or we have a curiosity. It's vulnerable to have good communication, but that's how it goes. So we're only going to be running into problems with these things if we are pushing too hard, we're trying to control everything, we aren't letting people know what we really need and want, and we're not being honest with ourselves. So those are just the themes. We want to be honest with ourselves, want to integrate, we want to use this time to be reborn, because literally Venus retrograde is a time of rebirth. When the Sun and Venus meet, that is the new beginning of a Venus cycle. So this is kind of amazing energy. And I think Mercury retrograde is like your tune-up. When you go to the auto mechanic, you get a tune-up. But there are other things going on here that I want us to focus on this month. For Leo specifically, it's interesting. The North Node moves into Taurus on the 19th. The South Node moves into Scorpio. And this is really interesting for fixed signs in general, I would say, because when you have the nodes and the eclipses moving through fellow fixed signs, which is Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, we all feel it. For Leos, this is 10th house energy. So with the North Node moving into Taurus, the South Node moving into Scorpio, these are where the eclipses are going to be taking place for the next year and a half, as well as the North Node being kind of how we're all being pulled and swayed coming up. And for you all, this is 10th house, a big showstopper energy. This is you being the Leo, the news anchor that's on TV, visible. It's the visible you getting activated here, which I think is really cool, because I do feel like Leos have kind of gone through this process the last couple of years of really reassessing, and it's been kind of intense, reassessing how you want to use your fire energy, how you want to use your creative energy and your magnetism and all of those things. And I think being a Leo, it's yeah, you have all those ingredients, but it's also you don't always feel comfortable using them. You may have your own, worthiness and learning trajectory that you're going through. And there are times when it's it doesn't feel right wanting to use all those tools. But I will say this, with the North Node moving into Taurus, there is a call for you to shine bright. I know I say this often, probably because I'm a little bit, team Leo. Being a Leo myself, it's easy to just kind of to cheerlead and say, let's bloom, right? But that literally, the two words that came to mind when I looked at this month's happenings was bloom and reflect. Bloom and reflect. Just keep doing that. Let yourself bloom, reflect and integrate. Let yourself bloom, reflect and integrate. Get out there, try the new art, try the new creative expression. Will it come out perfectly every single time? Hell no. Why was that ever even the goal? What's interesting about that? Please. So it's really about just trying things out, seeing what happens. Yes, I wanted to just mention too, the Mercury retrograde is going to be happening partially in your opposing sign of Aquarius. Don't worry. Once again, this is about integration. Mercury retrogrades happen 3 times a year. They're just not that big of a deal. So 2 of Cups. Hello. I love it. There's a lot of luck and beauty to January. Honestly, I'm not even just saying that to like have a nice reading here. It's weird when people hear about things like the nodes changing and Venus retrograde, Mercury, it's like, oh no, it's going to be a chaotic month. No, it's just a really deeply creative month. The sun, hello. And here's what I'm noticing too, kind of with this energy change, right? Energy moving into Taurus. Jupiter has just been in Pisces starting on December 28th. So we have a totally new Jupiter cycle as well, which I get into a little more deeply on my Patreon, but it's like we're working with very different energy than we were in 2021, like by a mile, and 2020 too. It's such a creative time. Like doors are opening, answers are coming in. 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh. I am not arguing. I'm not arguing with any of this. I love these cards so much. Wow. And Page of Wands. Okay. Wow, Leo. Okay. I am going to pull a final card from my Animal Totem Tarot. Add a little flair to the conversation here. And it is 2 of Wands. I love 2 of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards. Oh my gosh. I think it's a whale. I actually want to look that up really fast. I'm still kind of a new practitioner with this card deck, and sometimes a card will just totally surprise me. Oh, Stingray, obviously. Yes, I can see it now. Stingray. So professional. You know me. Okay. Let's talk through this. Let's talk through this powerful, creative, force to be reckoned with month, but I mean that in the best way possible. Because it feels like there's a huge culmination going on where there's been a lot of murky places in our lives for like a while, a year and a half. And now it's like, oh, okay, now I know. Okay, let's talk through this. 2 of Cups, my favorite card. I like it so much more than the Lovers. This is about 2 equals coming together to share from their overflowing cups. Yes, this is a partnership. Yes, this is love. Yes, this is connection. That's for sure. Like that's what this energy is all about. Now, of course, it doesn't just have to be a romantic partnership. It often is, right? But these are any kind of deep relationships, friendships, creative partnerships that really feed our souls. And so there is an amplification here. There is going to be a coming together here that is very joyful. And, honestly, with partnerships that are working, with connections that are working, places in our lives that are really for us, Venus retrogrades actually make those partnerships stronger and deeper and more intense and like more beautiful. I remember the last Venus retrograde, which happened in May and June of 2020. I was living with my boyfriend and we were in lockdown in London, of all places, actually. And when like Venus retrograde ended, and I think within a week, we decided to get married at the end of Venus retrograde because everything had just grown deeper. So I want to mention too that like Venus retrograde does not always mean the dissolution of all love related things. It can actually mean the deepening of those things, granted that they are the right thing for us. So there is this deepening going on, but here's the thing. Look at this, you guys. I mean, do you even want me to talk? Yes, I'll give you some words of affirmation. Very important to do for our Leo pride, right? Okay, the sun is one of my favorite energies because this is the energy of just getting out there and trying some stuff, just seeing what happens. And it's that pure spirit, right? This is one of your cards. This is one of the Leo cards. And one of the elements of Leo that I think can sometimes get lost in the stress and the overwhelm of life is that childlike, just trying something out. getting out there and just going for it. And that's what the sun is all about. And there is this sense in January that we're going to just need to get out there like beginners, like we're in kindergarten and we're playing with sidewalk chalk. We get so serious. We get so wrapped up in the seriousness of life. And yes, life can be very serious and very hard and very harrowing. 100%. There is no arguing that fact. Hard emotions come through, but that does not exclude us from playing. And you're being asked to shine bright, my friends. I'm telling you. Oh, and I feel like I haven't even enunciated clearly enough that the North Node in Taurus is going to be about you really taking your space in the world, really growing into your destiny in the world and what you're meant to do in the world. So you have the next year and a half, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on that, a lot growing and blooming in that area. And we're just beginning here on January 19th when that North Node begins its journey. Now, 10 of Cups is special because this is not just about something that's happening in January and you've gotten it and it's like happening. The 10 of Cups is about a much longer journey that's been going on for a while. And when I kind of think about, okay, we had Jupiter in Aquarius, right? All of 2021 for the most part, a good chunk of 2021. That was our opposing sign, and we were doing all this work and reflection and exploring that. We've been doing all this work with the South Node in Sagittarius, our fellow fire sign. That's been challenging. There's been all these things that we have been doing and growing towards. And the 10 of Cups is a reflection of us coming to a point of culmination, a point of graduation. This is almost like a ceremony. To me, it's like a wedding ceremony or graduation or the sun coming out after the winter. It's about something that has come to full vision that you are celebrating because it's taken time to get here. So January also has a feel like there's a lot of us who are going to be celebrating the things that we have mastered, we have understood, we have learned, and the things that are actually coming full circle and opening and beginning. Yes, this is a card of conclusions, but it's also a card of beginnings. And that larger energetic cycle, I think you're going to be getting a really good handle on what that means for you. Now, the Page of Wands is a news bringer and a good news bringer. And to me, he almost heralds the return of fiery energy in the world again. Fire energy has not been Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We haven't been having any particularly fun transits recently. Sag had the South Node in their sign. Aries is working with Chiron. Leo's kind of not on center stage with any big transits at the moment. And so fire energy has been kind of in the background of all this other stuff going on in the world. But I almost feel like Page of Wands is like, let's bring it back. But this is also a news bringer about something. And I think it's tied to kind of this 10 of Cups. There being a door opening here, an opportunity opening up here, something that's been waiting to break open and begin for a while. And you've been wondering when am I going to get that feedback, that answer, that clarity that I've just been waiting for a while. This is that kind of energy. And it's funny, sometimes it is about the big phone call, the big email, the big promotion or opportunity. But often too, this can be one of those things where you get that clarity, you run into that person you dated 10 years ago and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm such a cool person. I'm like, I've really grown into myself. There can be all sorts of layers to that kind of aha understanding. But honestly, these are big cards. These are not subtle energy cards in some ways, to be honest. When I look at these cards, I'm like, these are so in your face and so big and so bold and so juicy. This is, funnily enough, Leo, this is not a month of subtlety. This is going to be a month of big leaps and bounds, big connective moments. Now we have the Two of Wands, Manta Ray. Really interesting. Two of Wands is a doorway card. You can see it even here in the card with the two little stakes in the ground. And it's almost like this manta ray is beckoning you onto your new journey. The Two of Wands for me, it's an understanding. It's a tingling sensation of knowing that you are standing at the threshold of a really big new chapter of your life and that there are a lot of things waiting to meet you. And I think as the overarching card that comes with all of these other amazing cards in this conversation today, the feeling I get is that January is going to have a sense of you standing in that doorway and feeling that sense that you're about to embark on a really big journey. And it's funny that I'm saying that because I'm very adamant that I don't want to make January a stressful month of like needing to like get in year and be like, I'm going to make it my year, because I'm bored by that concept. I don't think any of us are interested in that concept anymore. We're all moving on to something else. But in your case, there's this sense of new beginnings just popping right and left, the sense of culmination and new beginnings and doors opening and things moving in the direction you've been longing for a long time. And I'm happy to share that with you. Like, I'm loving these cards, and I do just have a few blessings and well wishes to send with you as we begin 2022. So I wrote these up for you. Here they are. May this be a year feel full of feeling and full of becoming. May it be a year of creativity and heartfelt joy. May it be a time of connecting pieces and getting deeper clarity. May it be the truest year of your life yet. Yeah. That feels good. Living the truest year yet feels really good. I will be sharing so many more deep dives where I have like the space and time to do the deep dives over on Patreon. So if you're looking for deep dives on Venus, on North Node and Taurus, on all that's coming up in 2022, I would love to see you over there. We have a really great time. It's a fantastic community. You can also find me on my Instagram, which is @Vrba, and there's only one real me. There are some impersonators out there, just FYI, but just follow me. And if those impersonators are DMing you or whatever, you can just report the account. They're around. They're bothering a lot of people right now. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram, but I'll leave all the info so you know exactly where to find me. Make it easy on you. I would love to see you here. So I hope you stick around for more of our chats and discussions and exploring what it means to be a Leo in 2022. It's going to be a wild, interesting, exciting ride. I'm very much looking forward to it. Sending you all my love, and we will be back here very soon for our next chat.